What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another video. So I'm gonna do another update on Composer.Trade. I've been in, like I said, I've been in this thing now for like what, 3 weeks. I think I opened up the account on the 5th of May, and so we've been rolling since then. So want to give y'all a sneak peek of what the portfolio looks like right now. So basically, I'm testing this thing out, right? Composer. Those of you who do not know what Composer is, you can take a look at my past video. I think I've linked it in the playlist. Take a look at the past videos so you can see exactly how this thing works, what it's about, and so on and so forth. I've just joined a Discord that's in relation to Composer, where folks are talking about symphonies and all things that has to do with Composer all day long, which is very a very good community. Lots of great discussions. People who are way smarter than me, and so on are in there discussing their strategies, how they're building up their symphonies, sharing symphonies and ideas, and so on and so forth. A really great community built by Garen Phillips. Shout out to him, and he's a good dude. Welcomed me to the community once I signed up and sent me a nice message and so on and so forth. So anyways, let me get right into it. So as you can see, the count is sitting at $3,837 as of right now, with $153 rolling in hopefully before the trading day is over today. And then as you can see, cumulative over the last since the 5th of May, we've done 3%. I know it's not that great, right? But if you average that out, annualize that out, right, times that by 12, you can see how impactful. If we continue with this with the path that we're on now, that's way more than the than probably even what the stock market in general, the S&P 500 is returning currently on an annual basis. So off to a great start. I have faith that we can keep this thing up. I want to picking the symphonies. So a lot of people go in and they look at these symphonies, and they tend to try, right, to go for the highest yielding cumulative return, which are without paying attention to the Sharpe ratio, right, risk to the reward, max drawdown, or even looking at solely performance before that symphony was traded live. And I think that's the bad way to that's not the best way. I don't say bad. That's not the best way to really go about picking your symphonies. To really go ahead and pick your symphonies, I think you should be looking at risk to reward, looking at the performance both before and after live trading, right? See how, because you'll find a lot of symphonies start off with, you'll take a look at it, it starts off in a trend where it's booming, right, like this one to the right, and the next thing you know, it drops off, and it might be a telltale sign of when real trading, live trading started, right, on that symphony. You like backtest will probably look something where it looks like really good, right, running up, and the next thing you know, once it starts being traded live, it takes a dive. So you want to pay attention to the Sharpe ratio. You want to pay attention to the max drawdown, and pick something that's comfortable for you. So if you look at this one right here, right, this is, for example, this Bitcoin strategy, you can see that the max drawdown is 53%. And this is, what time frame is this? Let's look at the time frame. So since November of 2022, right, which is also the same time that it started trading, right, on live. As you can see, it's returned cumulative 358%, which is really good, which is with an annualized return of 100 and let's round up to 80%. So you're doing 180% for over the past 2 years since 2022, which is really good. And then look at this month, right? Look at this month, 33%. Last 3 months, 111%. Compared to SPY, look at SPY. SPY is only doing 37% compared to 358, right? and look at the annualized 23% compared to 179. So it's killing SPY, right? But look at the Sharpe ratio. Look at how they're similar. Matter of fact, SPY has a better Sharpe ratio. So in terms of like uh, your risk factor, if you can still make a 53% drawdown, then hey man, I think the risk is worth the reward, right? However, for me, I don't know if I can psychologically sit there and look at my account being 53% without trying to manage. I guess trying to manage it, right? I think that's the trader in me coming out, as opposed to sitting there and just letting it go down and hoping it comes back. But during the same time, you can see SPY has a max drawdown of 10% since 2022. Right, 10% compares to 53%. So I can stomach a 10%, and if I'm getting a 23% annualized, that's still killing anything else. Most investments out there that you can even research or come up with. So for me, I probably wouldn't couldn't, based on the past performance, I probably wouldn't look at a strategy like this because of the risk to reward ratio. So going back to the portfolio, right? I'm going to show you some of the symphonies that I'm invested in. So I started off with the BNTO BTV symphony. I have $2,000 in there. Then I have the rising rates. I really like these two symphonies. And if you take a look at them, you'll see why. I'm not gonna dive into them today, but the next video, I'm gonna do a deep dive and tell you why I like these so much. So I'm gonna build up all these symphonies. Every last one of the symphonies in my portfolio, I'm gonna build them up to 2,500 and just let them go. And then we'll reevaluate at the end of the year and see if we want to put more money into it. Long term, right? We're doing long term. We got patience, right? We'll stick to it. We have patience, so we're not worried about it, right? And this is money that we can't afford to lose, so no big issues there. We're losing. If one of these symphonies go haywire and next thing you know we 100% lost, oh well, so be it. That's why you don't play with money that you can't afford to lose. Remember that, all right? Don't come in here playing with your savings or your children's college funds and so on and so forth. That won't make it. That's bad decision making. Anyways, so you can see. So last week I went ahead and jumped in V1A TQQQ. Love that the stats on this one. Simple portfolio, the blend, total bond market. This one right here. If you take a look at the max drawdown compared to and do different time periods compared to SPY, oh man, it's killing SPY. And the risk to reward ratio, I think this has a Sharpe ratio right around a 3, which is anything over 3 or 4, it's like unrealistic. But take a look at that one. That's really good. IDK Part 2. Part 1 is good too. They're both pretty good. I think they're both pretty similar as well, but Part 2 edges out the original. And then the Planet's Parachute. Love that one. This one right here is Steady. I call it Steady Eddie. If you take a look at it, I'll tell you why I call it Steady Eddie. Because if you take a look at it, right, and break it down, you can see for this month, right? So this month the max drawdown is 0.5, right? Okay, no biggie. All right, no biggies. We're off 0.6% for the month. Okay, cool. But if you take a look at the last, let's do the entire month going back into April, right? You can see it's up 2%, right? SPY is beating it. Okay, no worries. But the max drawdown, look at that. Steady Eddie, right? So even the risk reward is greater than than SPY. And let's go now to a 3 month, right? 3 months, Steady Eddie, remember that, right? So 3 months. So boom, the numbers are better than SPY. Look at the max drawdown, still 2%, and look at the Sharpe ratio. So you're getting the bang for your buck, right? So that's the last 3 months. So let's look at the last 6 months now, right? Last 6 months. Remember, it started trading back in 2023. So this is live, right? This is live we're talking about. So for the last 6 months, if it was $100,000 investment, you'd have had a $31,000 gain for the last 6 months. And look at how much the cumulative return is compared to SPY, right? Look at the max drawdown compared to SPY, and look at the Sharpe ratio compared to SPY. Really good symphony here. That was created. And then let's look at the year to date. So year to date, as you can see, 20% compared to SPY at 12. Got a max drawdown. I know the numbers are not crazy out of this world, but it's just steady. 26%. Look at that. Look at the max drawdown. So let's take this and go back. Let's go back to 3 years. Let's go back to 3 years. See what's going on 3 years ago. So 3 years ago, as you can see, let's go back to this. Okay, so 3 years. Here's the 3 years. Here's the 3-year numbers. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back. Let's go back even further. Let's go back even further. Let's go to 20. Can we go to 2018 before the pandemic? Would that work? Can we back test that far? Okay, let's take a look. Let's see. So remember, these numbers are pretty unrealistic because anything before live trading, I don't do it. I don't give it too much credence. But take a look at the. I can't even take this thing serious. I'm not looking at that. But look at the drawdown during that time. Remember, around pandemic time frame, which was what March of 2020. You can see when SPY really took a hit, and we had that big V, right? We went down and came right back up like a month later at the height of this pandemic. Look at how SPY performed, but look at how this symphony performed. You would have only lost 7% during that time. 7% during that time. Look at that. Tell me that's not amazing. So I'll call this to steady Eddie. I'm gonna invest more, obviously, to all of these symphonies, but I'm really liking this one so far. And I have cash in there. Like I said, I have cash in there. However, I don't think I had enough to trigger any trades as of right now. So this cash is sitting in there. Same thing for this one here, the V-1 leverage, and then BB Signal is another one that's pretty good. I like. So as you can, so when I and there's 2 more that I'm gonna add, and I'm gonna be done. So I'm gonna add the Hawks and Snacks. Really like this one, right? This is another one with good risk reward as well. And then I'm gonna add Seth's Simplified Portfolio. This guy is This guy is all over the Discord. Very knowledgeable individual. He posted it. I snagged it. I want to test it out to see how I perform. Looking back at this one, this symphony here, the risk reward is great. The Sharpe ratio, the risk it looks good. The annual return looks good. And granted, the start date is only May 20th of this month. However, just wanted to give it a try to see what the performance would look like. I know it's pretty new, and normally you want to wait 3 to 6 months before you even jump in and start trying these new symphonies. But I like the makeup of it, and I do like the minimum drawdown. Compared to the other benchmarks. So those are the symphonies that I'm in, and those are the 2 that I'm going to be adding here shortly once the funds clear. So right now I have how much? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, 9, 10 symphonies currently. Right, and I'm gonna add another 2, so I'm gonna have 12 total, and I'm done. Right, I'm done. I think I'm a product of things happen where the weekend hits, or these 3-day weekends, or so on and so forth, and then you just sit around because the market's not open, right? So you sit around and you look at all these symphonies, and you test, and you come up with ideas, and you try to build your own, and you try to edit existing ones. So I've been sitting around just looking at this thing and being obsessed with it. So I think I've settled on these 10 and in this last 2. Once I've added these last 2, I'm just gonna build them all up to 2,500, and then we're gonna roll from there and see how they perform. And along the way, from after a year, we'll reevaluate and see if we want to dump some more money into this thing and let it ride. But hey, come on with me on this journey, so you guys can see for yourself how this thing works, because there's not a lot of information out there about Composer, and there's only a few channels really covering performance and so on and so forth. So Let me be your guinea pig. Let me and ride along with me while we test this damn thing out live. You know what I mean? Without if you're not willing to put your money up, then what good is it, right? So we're not. I'm not sitting here just talking about what ifs and so forth. I got real money into this thing, and we're gonna play it out and see how this thing performs. But until next time, I'm not gonna talk your ear off anymore. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all later. Thank you and goodbye.